Well, I don't think this film is as good as Fallout. I find the plot to be incredibly contrived in places, but I think there's some great character arcs throughout the film. It is a shame that it's not as good as Fallout, but you know. Alright, so what do I mean by contrivances? Well, glaring contrivance was when there's this exact scene where Haley Atwell's character Grace is in trouble. You know, the bad guys are pointing guns at her, and she's about to kick the bucket. And then Tom Cruise essentially parachutes into the scene, not knowing that she was in danger, not knowing where to land with the parachute. Not just stops that essentially threat altogether, accidentally almost. And then that sequence certainly pulled me away from the film. I've been listening to other people's impressions of the film, saying, "Oh, maybe the dialogue and the plot weren't so good, but the action was great." Here's the thing: I wasn't that impressed with the action. I was much more impressed with John Wick 4's action than this movie. Not to say that the action was bad or anything, but to be honest, I was watching John Wick 4. I was on the edge of my seat at all times. I wasn't as engaged by the action as I was with John Wick, for instance. There are some good, very well made action sequences in this, but I think promoting the film, they showed their hand a little too much. You know the scene where they constantly showed off where Tom Cruise jumps off the ramp of the cliff? Like, when you get to that scene in the movie, it doesn't feel as impactful because you know, oh, okay, he's jumping off, and you know, and the way it was shot, like, if I didn't see the advertising for it, I would have probably thought, oh, that's just a CGI shot, you know. But in reality, he did actually jump off that cliff a couple of times. Man, I don't know. I've just thought that the shot was somewhat underwhelming, to be honest. I don't know if anyone else got that impression. I thought the villain was interesting. The main big threat, the AI entity. The script doesn't realize they've made something completely overpowered. This is like Ultron times 10, essentially, and could cause irreparable damage to the world at large. And there are so many opportunities where I think the AI could have screwed over Ethan Hunt's team that again pulled me out of the movie. There was this certain joke with Simon Pegg's character where he's driving a car that drives itself, right? And he, presses a auto drive button, and then looks at his screen, and then he looks at the auto drive button on the screen, and then he puts his seatbelt on, as if knowing that, hang on, this AI might crash the car. Let me put my seatbelt on. And it's just like, why not just use a mechanical car instead of using something that has auto drive in it? I mean, if I was a 1000 IQ quintillion super fast computer that's evil, I would probably crash Simon Pegg's car at that moment. I get it was a joke, but there's some opportunities the AI does not take in here that I think any intelligent AI would. What did I like about this movie? It was, I think I liked the most Haley Atwell's character Grace and her arc. You know, this overconfident little thief, essentially, being dragged into this spy espionage, crazy fighting whatnot world, this crazy world of the Mission Impossible. She felt very human, like she was she was afraid when she was in danger. She was constantly trying to avoid Ethan Hunt's character. She wasn't overshadowing him or anything like that. She was she did things for her own self interest, and it's only till the end she does essentially the right thing, gives up her self interest, and persuades the greater good with the IMF team, um, which I liked, to be honest. Overall, I think the movie was incredibly contrived. I think the plot is definitely not the best. I think the villain was interesting, but somewhat incompetent, even though they're meant to be highly competent. Um, but I did enjoy Grace's character arc the most out of this film. And, Tom Cruise being heroic and whatnot, which is something you don't often get in other movies, heroism. And that's a rare thing these days.